Well, that was fucking seamless, wasn't it? Right. I'll stop messing around a little bit. I'm going to tell you a story. Hold on for a second. So this is a story in 3 parts. I'll break it down and I'll put time links in the bottom so you can just skip through to the bit you want. The first part is the idea I had. The second part is about having pins created on Alibaba, and the third part is actually the Laserpecker 2 and the setup and a couple of little tips and tricks that you might need to know that I don't think were really explained in the instructions, but then again I didn't really read the instructions. So the first part is the idea. At the train club, one of the members had these pins made, which is the Montreal Live Steamers Corporation pins. They're brass pins, really well made, and it was coming into about October. I was like, I'd really like to get a gift made for my team at work. So I contacted the guy who had the pins made and said, hey, can you, I know where you got them from, it was Alibaba, can you send me their request, their details, so I can make a request and get some pins made? And he said no, which sucks, but that's life. So I went to Alibaba. I've got an account there. I've had things made there before, generally in bulk. And what you do is you make an RFQ. An RFQ is a request for quote. A request for quote means you're going to put in your details of what you want, how many you want, and then the suppliers are going to come to you. You obviously put it in a specific category. So I did that. I wanted a pin that was about 1 inch wide, out of brass. Here's my design, and I want around 50 of them. And then you sit back and you just wait. And the suppliers will come. Like 100%. And you're going to get quotes. Now there's different levels of quotes, and I'm going to talk about the company that I dealt with, which is Pingyang country Yiteng Crafts Factory, and a person called Below Bay, and I'm very sorry for getting your name wrong. So you get all of these messages on Alibaba of people going, hey, it's going to cost this much, blah 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 blah, and it's your job to go through and sort the best part of it, the wheat from the chaff. Now in the RFQ there was what I wanted, an image, and all of the details, everything I could think of that anyone might ask me. Bay came through, and the first message, and this is amongst a whole bunch of other quotes, was less than 50, it's going to be $1 each. So I messaged them back, okay, $1, da da da. And there's different levels of people and service that you're going to get. Some people can be quite pushy. Some people didn't even read the RFQ, and the reason I went through, and I probably had about 15, maybe 20 people contact me, the reason why I went with Pingyang country Yiteng Crafts Factory is because Bay asked the correct questions. Asked me a time frame, asked me what I wanted, asked me to upload a PNG of my artwork because the artwork I gave them was a JPEG, and the quote, and we went back and forth, and you know there's a time difference between Canada and China, so when I was going to bed and I'd left a message, there'd be a response the next day, or if I'd gone to bed and they'd messaged me overnight, you know, I'd respond to it the next day. And it was a very seamless process, very easy, great communication, super professional. Where some of the other people, when I responded to them going, hey, I found someone, they'd be like, why, who, we're better than them, without me even telling them who they were. I was happy with Bay, I was happy with Pingyang, because they were professional and they seemed to care. So we go through, we get the quote, and this is what I had made. It's for work, so I'm not going to explain what the actual logo is, but I had these made. They delivered way before they were meant to. Like, you can track your request all the way through, 100%. You can track your request and see where it is in manufacturing. If they deliver late, then you can actually ask for some money back because they delivered late. But these guys delivered way earlier. I think these arrived before they were due to actually even be shipped, so the service was phenomenal. Now, whilst I was talking to Bay in Pingyang, getting these done, I thought, sod it, I'll make some pins for a friend of mine who's a streamer for the game I work on, Titanium Rolo. These pins cost me $1 US dollar each. So for 50, it cost me $50 US for these pins, plus a molding fee, which is $50, plus shipping, which was $32. So it cost me $132 US for 50 of these pins. These pins, because I ordered 100, you still get the molding fee, but because I ordered 100, these were 85 cents each, so 85 US cents each. $50 molding fee, but the shipping was only $7 because I got them to package them in with my pins. Otherwise it probably would have been about $32 to $34. Again, the quality of these pins is amazing. Clasp on the back, they ask you where you want your the location of the little claspy pin bit to be. They ask you all the questions, they ask everything. They don't ask silly questions, they ask, we need to know this. Cool, done. And I've been quite friendly with Bay, and I'm probably going to put some more work their way. It's been amazing, amazing. So the idea was make pins for my workmates. I did this, but what I also wanted to do when I got them was I was like, oh, this is a bit, it's just a pin. So I wanted to put them on something. And randomly I was watching a restoration video on YouTube, and there was a guy restoring, and I'll put a link in the description below, there's a guy restoring an old foosball table, or a German soccer table. It's pretty much foosball. And the label, the manufacturing label has gone. It's like, I'll have to, he doesn't talk on the videos, but it's like, I'll have to make another one. I was like, okay, this is interesting. It was just in the background when I was working. And he pulls out a laser. It's already set up. And puts on this little card. And lasers this new thing. And then cuts it out. And then sands it down. And glues it on the table. And I'm like, ah. I've been trying to make something for my dad for our model trains for years. And I tried doing it on my X-Carve CNC, which is a wonderful machine, but I could never get the quality that I wanted. After seeing this video, excuse me, after seeing this video, I'm like, ah, right. That's how I'm going to do these things for my dad and these cards for my my pins. So I messaged the guy. I saw this on Instagram. I messaged the guy on Instagram, but I also went to his YouTube channel and saw roughly what the laser was and what it could do, right? And this is all I've seen of this company. I've never seen their stuff before, but it was a thing called a Laserpecker 2, which I'm about to build for you right now. Give me 1 second. I should have had the same the first time. So what it was a Laserpecker 2, which is this machine here, which somehow I've already got dusty. The first thing you need to do is put 2 screws in to hold this base on. Job done. Super easy. Then you get your laser, and using the thumb screw, if you get it lined up properly, make sure you don't balk the laser, you screw that in, right? This is the world's simplest instructions. Okay, laser attached to thing, laser attached to thing. Then you plug in the power, which thankfully I've got plugged in right here. If I don't knock the camera, you plug the power in. If you got it. Huh. What have I done? Power's fine. Are you plugged in? I'm Pretty sure I plugged you in. Did we have them all right? Yeah, you got unplugged from the adapter. Minor technical difficulties. Okay, so you plug it in and you have some controls. Long press here. Did I turn it off? 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Long press here. Interesting. Why are we not? Certainly you're not working. I may have broken my laser. Okay, now you're on. Okay, helps you turn it on. Right, there's a couple of things. So long press on this button should why are you being a dick all of a sudden? I used this the other day and I unplugged it. I brought it down here to do this video and now it's not working. I did change the setting though. Right. So this is where I have to go do some jiggery McFuckery. Laserpecker. I do have the program on my computer. I normally use this upstairs, but click here to collect. Get to this. It's actually their application is actually really good. Okay, I am connected. I know I changed the setting for the touch thing the other day. Electro roller touch buttons. Okay, did I fucking... Okay, touch buttons are on. Yeah, I know, thank you. Touch buttons. Why are you not working? Ah. See, okay, there's a couple of things here. And I'm a fucking idiot. If you want this and this to work, it helps you plug in the fucking cable. Dick. So there's three USB ports on the back. Right. See? User error. Should have thought about this. Now this has got a light on. So touch. You can move it up, you can move it down. Wow, I fucked this up. Go on. So long press goes up, one press stop. Long press goes down, one press stop. It helps, and I'm sorry, I should have plugged in the bloody USB. Now, it does come with a shroud that just clips in and plugs into the other USB port. I'm not going to use it for the purpose of this demonstration because it's going to get in the way. So the other USB port here plugs into the fan. It's got a little extractor on it, and it will, wow, it really picks up dust, and it will extract away from your stuff. The other USB port, which is a little tiny one, I have to stand up for this, is this one which goes to your computer. Boink, little USB. So you'll have power to your computer, to the base, so it works unless you do it wrong. I'm very sorry, Laserpecker. And then the other one goes to the fan and the shroud. I'm not going to put the shroud on, but I am going to go get my safety glasses. Now, a couple of things to note. Whoops. A couple of things to note about this machine. I'm going to do this, get this out of the way. Probably got cables everywhere. A couple of things to note about this machine. It comes in a really good, when it's shipped, and I bought this from Amazon, right? And this was purely to do a project for my staff. It was $742.99. By the time you do tax, it's $819.99. By the time you pay the fees and everything, it was $942.78 for a Laserpecker laser, which is expensive, but I'm going to use it a whole bunch, so I'm not too worried. There's a couple of things that confuse me. And when you first get this out of this packaging and it comes in this box, I'll put a picture. The cardboard box it comes in is amazing. The packaging for this thing is 1000% some of the best packaging I've ever seen. Everything has its own compartment. You get the two little screws, you get a little Allen key, you get everything you need to set this thing up. And when I set it up, unplugged it, I glanced at the instructions, went, yeah, cool, whatever, threw those aside and just went. But there's a couple of things that seem really strange out of the box. As soon as you plug in the fan or the machine, when you get it out of the box, it's just on. The fan's on and you can hear the internal stuff going. There's no obvious power button on this machine. The power button is actually on the top. There's 3 buttons: a little crosshair, a plus, and a play button. To turn the machine off, you need to be in the app on your phone on Bluetooth, turn on touch buttons, and then pressing the play button 3 times turns the machine off, just like I just did, and then 3 touches turns it back on. That was driving me up the wall, because the first couple of days I was unplugging it from the power and I'm like, why is there no power button on this? And it was driving me nuts. Maybe it's in the instructions and I'll check, but I don't think it was. And if I was wrong, I'll post at the bottom of the screen that I'm a retard and I should have actually read the fucking instructions, which I didn't do. So I bought this to do some cards. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go and get my safety glasses, because I don't have them on, and I'm going to use this without the shield, and I'm going to go through the process of what I do to actually use this machine. It's pretty easy, but I'm going to stop this recording and then I'm going to go get my glasses, because I left them upstairs and I don't really want to burn my retinas out with crazy lasers. There's a couple of things as well. What you do get when you buy your Pecker of lasers is you get a piece of wood that's bent to engrave, and then the world's heaviest dog tag, which we're not going to bother with. So with this machine, when you go, you have to put on your sexy glasses, because I'm not using the shield. Normally I don't bother doing this. Normally I just have a thing. So you've got a number of ways of measuring down to the actual surface that you want to engrave stuff on. I did have a pack of cards here. I do. These are plastic coated cards that are 0.1 steel thick. Ding ding ding. Installed now. The drivers need to be installed. What I do for my designs is I measured the card, got the width, and then you need a Windows. Normally I use my desktop, so it doesn't need Windows drivers. It's fine. Run. Run. The longest part of setting this thing up was actually stuff like this, doing the drivers, which will ask you for every time, even though you've already done it. Can we preview now, please? When you hit preview, it's going to ask you. Wow, this is sometimes the fun bit. Preview. Okay, so you get a preview, and what it's going to do. The problem is, when you do put the glasses on, you can't see anything. The preview laser is generally fine. You want to line your card up. Normally I do this on a little piece of paper, and I've got the shield on, so I don't need the glasses, because the glasses do filter out the blue light. So what I've done is I've measured out the width and length of the card, and I've got it as 2 layers. I've got my main area that I want to actually do something with. So I've got a fill on the line. The line is just purely for me to actually line up stuff. I haven't figured out how to set it to not cut yet. I just want it as a thing. One thing that would be nice in the software is, well, some more information would be helpful, because the help settings on this are crap. But so what I do is I set it. It's going to do the image first, and then it's going to do the line, and all I do is I'm sitting watching, waiting for it to finish the engraving, and then I stop it before it does the line. So I'll preview again. My card's in the right place, and I'm going to go next step. It will turn itself off, and it sounds like it's off, and you go, cool, engrave. And I've not actually sat and watched this. So it sent the fill to the machine. It's got a little green flashing light, and now it's about to start cutting. We will speed this up. This isn't the card I did, and you can hear the working noise from this machine. It's very, very quiet. Even when you've got the fan on, it's pretty quiet. Sweet smell of burning plastic. Let's speed this up a little bit. Now, of course, if you've got a fuller image or a fuller thing, it won't be just going from side to side. If you see the logo, it's actually a circle with a dog from my dog walker. It's got some text on it, but this is actually longer than the cards I did, which I'll show an image of. It's actually longer to engrave this than it is to engrave anything else. I've set this to be like 3 passes just so I get a really nice engrave on it. There's lots of things to learn. Like I've used this for 2 evenings doing the cards for the gifts for Christmas, but other than that, I've just messed around with it. Like, my first engrave was on a piece of wood from downstairs in the basement because the wood they sent was like just crooked, and I did a test engrave what I wanted to do. But from pulling this out of the box, I'd already installed the software and the drivers on my PC, and I'd already done a design. The design will be the bit that takes most people think, but their design software is really simple. If you want to do just like mandalas or Christmas things or whatever, it's all in the software. I use Inkscape, or I use Illustrator, or I use Photoshop, so I go through and I've got those tools. The card I did was a logo at the top, nothing in the thing, and then someone's name, and I had to go change people's names on every single card, reline up a card and go, reline up a card and go. I've just realised, more by luck than judgment, I never leveled this thing because the height of the laser should be there. So what's really interesting is that I didn't really do that because I was thinking about it. But this is what the card should look like, and I've completely fucked up. So this is the card I did the other night upstairs at the correct height. I'm really interested to see what this one comes out like, because even though the preview was correct, the laser is not set at the right height. So I may have done a complete goof here. Well, that's the second goof because I didn't plug in the tower to the thing, but let's see. It seems to be going okay. Another good feature of this machine is in the software is you can set it to pause. If you need to stop, answer the door, hit pause, it stops your design halfway through, go do what you need to do, come back, click continue. Like, I can do it right now just to prove it. Done, paused, doesn't care. Hit continue and it carries on. This isn't something I'd leave alone for too long. I'd be careful with it. It is a laser and you can burn things. It's melting plastic right now, or engraving plastic. If you're doing wood is fibrous, so it can actually catch fire. And when I have done wood, and I can do another design, but I won't, on wood, you can smell it. Now I'm smelling melted plastic, but with the wood, you smell slightly singed wood. I'm really interested to see how this comes out, considering I completely fluffed this. No, Jeremy, don't put your hand on the laser. But I'm very impressed with the machine. Super easy to use, super easy to put together, super well packaged. Alright, it's bloody expensive, and I do want an X2, is it a P2 with the conveyor belts to do the big coaches and stuff, but I'm really impressed. This is my first experience with lasers, and it was just random chance that I saw someone using one in a YouTube video, and I went, I want one of those, and they were on Amazon and I bought it. Was it expensive? Yes. Is it worth it? Probably. Don't know yet. I don't know what I'm going to use it for. The area, unless it moves slightly. Yeah, it's moved, look. Check it out, the card's moved. Let's stop this. So that's really interesting. There's no air in here at all. And it's gone through, and for some reason, like, not me, it's moved. Weirdly, yeah. Listen. All the way up. I've never tried going all the way up on this, so I don't know whether it stops automatically or not, or it just tries to knacker the motor. We'll find out in a second. Holy fuck. Alright, buddy. Okay, it's got an automatic stop. Let's get this bloody thing on. Let's do another test. It just slides on. And then you whack your bloody thing into your bloody thing. USB into USB. Plug it in. You hear the fan start. Let's drop this down. Let's drop this down. Now, what I've been doing, I have to admit, that was a really interesting test. Why the fuck did that move? Oh, at least I don't have to wear my special orange glasses anymore. Now the fun thing was when I was doing the cards before, I was actually using just a piece of paper. So it's actually plugged into my computer right now with USB. Right, this is something I noticed the other day. Because this is plugged into USB, you cannot connect to Bluetooth. So you have to unconnect your USB, and then it'll tell you to go. We'll hit preview. Yeah, make sure this is thing. Please turn on free mode, confirm. I don't know what free mode is. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I've got the bloody thing on. Okay, preview. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see, or hopefully you can see, my 6 is nowhere near where it needs to be. Now, another thing that's really interesting, because there's a focal length of the laser, what you're going to find is that even though I've got this square set to, when I do my business cards, the correct size, basically, okay, we're good. Basically, quick preview. Next, image data processing, please wait. And it's sending the file. Even though I have in my design wood, no, not wood, cork, plastic, felt, opaque, Coke cans. It's funny how they have Coke can as an option. If you have, I guess, if you have stainless steel, confirm. Power 100%. We're going to do a 3 pass on this. 3 seems like a good number. Stainless steel, power's 100%, depth's 100%, pass is 3. Do not engrave on highly reflective material. Ha! Start. Oh, it wants to be at 110 mil? Oh, okay, 110 mils to depth, like. Okay, confirm, yes, it's set at the right height. Yeah. What's really interesting is there's so many safety things in the app. It's going to ask you the same thing 10 times, and you can see it's burning the wood because I'm doing stainless steel, but it's going to hit wood. It's going to do the rest of the design, and you can see the flames coming up. So we'll have to sit here and watch this one. So you cannot connect Bluetooth when USB is plugged in, which is fine. This thing is portable. You can get a power pack for it. You can pick it up and basically engrave on walls. The height of where your material needs to be compared to the laser is basically this orange shield or that little drop down thing if you've got something that won't fit under the shield. I have to admit, it's pretty easy to work. I did little or no research upon this machine other than I spoke to the guy who had one that I saw using it on YouTube. I went, "Is it any good?" He went, "Yeah, it's great." I went, "Cool, thanks," and bought it. It's a massively informed decision, but he gave me what I wanted. We're at 10%. Whoop-de-doo. Now, obviously, some laser engraving jobs are going to be far more interesting, and some videos on YouTube will be far more interesting than watching the laser equivalent of paint drying. So I'll wrap up. Whilst this machine's doing this, I'll wrap up because this is going to be a long, boring video. So I wanted to make pins for my team. I got pins made for my team. I wanted to make cards that were laser engraved with their name on them and the logo of the brand to put the pins on. I did that. The pins came out amazing, like absolutely 100%, and I can't say thank you enough to Pingyang Yiteng Crafts Factory. I have to read it because the Yiteng and Bula Bay, I believe. I can't thank you enough for your hard work, your communication, and you're great, super professional. I'll be anyone who wants to get more pins done, I will send them your way. The details for that company is below. They were superb, great to work with. I'll post a picture of this right at the end of the video because I'm not going to sit here and let you watch it. I'll sit here and watch it for the next 30 minutes and hopefully it does something, but I don't think it's gonna. We'll go through and I'll do some more tests, and yeah, a three-part. So there was the idea, the execution of the pins, and then the execution of the cards. The Laserpecker 2 is a great little machine. I'm only just diving into what it can be used for, but straight out of the box, great box, great shipping box, great packaging on the inside. It's a laser, they don't want shit getting knocked around. Great packaging, pulling it out is like Apple quality packaging, just fun. And then setup was super easy, and I was up and running with this thing in like less than 10 minutes of actually getting it out of the box. Super easy. Now, just remember two things. When you do get it, Bluetooth to your phone, turn on the touch settings, and 3 presses on the play button up here will turn it on and turn it off. And the other thing to remember is you can't Bluetooth to it when it's plugged into a computer, because obviously it's only got enough chip power to do one thing rather than the other thing. It's not smart enough to have 2 projects sent to it at the same time. You go, hang on, I'm doing something. I'm sure that they could maybe do that in the future. That'd be kind of cool. But this is the Laserpecker 2, great little machine, and Pingyang country Yiteng Crafts Factory are the place to go for your pins. The links are all in the description of the video. Thank you for watching the waffle. I'll let you know how this turns out. Peace.